All right, Dynamis, some of these videos are long overdue. In this video, we're gonna talk about how to load your LoPro belt. These have been one of our best sellers for a reason. They are minimalistic, they have hidden function, they are built for everyday carry, and they can serve a really good purpose when you know how to use them. Aside from just being able to load just about whatever you want in here, whether it's Dynemis thread or keys or lights or picks, it does not matter. It's really endless. It's really up to your imagination and your everyday carry needs. But one of the main things that we designed this for was to carry coins or change. And in this video, I want to teach you guys how to properly load this pouch at the end. There are a couple other videos we're going to do to break down the features of the belt, but I want to focus on the quarters for this video. You have the end pouch here. Why do we do the end pouch? Well, because if this needs to be used for any type of self-defense, or I need to use this in a pinch, I can pull this off and I can ultimately use the very end of that to be able to gain distance and reach. I can also put this back Velcroed and then end up anchoring it here, and I still have that at the very tip, and it makes it a very good impact weapon. So, having said that, how do we load the quarters in? It's a question we get all the time. I built these so you put the coins in here, and yes, in an emergency you can use them, but realistically, once I think about loading these quarters in, I pretty much plan on keeping them there. Now, have I pulled it out to buy something out of a machine for my kids? Yes, of course. Or a tool that's an emergency? Yes. But mainly I'm thinking about loading these in. There is a right way to do it, or at least a better way to do it. When I start thinking about loading them in, you don't have much space. Why? Because they're bar tacks down. I've made this so it's reinforced on the end and both of the sides. That's to make sure that everything stays tight. Once I start loading these in, I put the first coin in, but I don't push it all the way down. So if you can see what I'm doing here, you're gonna see that this coin is just about halfway in. Now, I'm gonna insert the next coin right underneath it. That's really important that you actually put it underneath, because when you start stacking these up, it's gonna create a nice pyramid shape inside and allow it to be nice and even. You're gonna be able to fit more in there. Typically, I'm doing about anywhere from 13 to 15, and that's both on the 1.5 width or the 1.75 width. So you see I've got two coins in here, and now I am going to push those in a little bit more. So you can see I can see two of them there. Now I am putting the third one in and pressing it in just a little bit more. You don't want to lose sight of that, and even these two stacked up on me is not a big deal. You just want to make sure as evenly as possible you get all these going in a uniform manner. So I get that next one and just keep loading after that. One underneath, and you can see that's about what it's gonna look like inside. They're all gonna be stacked up evenly. It's actually gonna create a little bit of a high point in there, and I like that because it gets it nice and flat. And I'm just gonna work these in. And as soon as these start going in, I kind of start doing this to it. You kind of bend it back and forth will help it go along. I still got these exposed, and I'm just gonna keep loading in that manner. Push them in a little bit more, work them back. You don't wanna let that front one fall off or get underneath. You wanna keep them all stacked up, so you evenly wanna press them down, and then same thing applies all the way up until you have the whole thing stacked up for as many as you want. Maybe you are actually only using it for a toll or an emergency, or if you want it for an impact weapon, I try to get as many in here as possible. Again, one thing to keep in mind is anytime I'm carrying a blade or a pistol or any other type of concealed carry, I don't typically think about putting quarters in here because I've already got something to go to, unless the environment calls for it. You know, again, situation and the scenario is always going to dictate your action and what you're carrying. That includes your everyday carry. So you can see right now that I've got a nice even flow right there. You see how flat that is? You can see all the quarters are nice and even in there. That's how I want to keep it the whole time. So if I get ahead of myself or it stacks up too much or it goes too far, I kind of lose that first quarter and it could potentially fall underneath. So keep going back and forth. And again, this does not take long. What takes long is taking them out if you need them. But again, just stacking them underneath. Maybe I do two, okay, one more. And I believe this was about 14. Once I get to the end, I kind of like to start tapping it so it does settle in. You see how I still haven't lost sight of this quarter sticking up? I'm gonna put my last one in. Then once my last one is in, I'm gonna close the top of it and really start working it back and forth so they can settle out. And I don't wanna be able to see that last quarter anymore, but I want them even. That's key, so I don't have any hot spots in there. I'll open this up. You see I've got that quarter about halfway out. I'm gonna finally push that in, close the back, settle them all, and then there you go. I've got all 14 of those nicely stacked, nice and even. I'm gonna do that with both the 1.5 and the 1.75, and you are ready to go. So you can see you've got an impact weapon, whether you hit it on the back or the front, it does not matter. I like to close this up, put my pinky in there. Doesn't really matter which way. I actually like doing it so that if you can see from the top, the quarters are here. I've got one layer of material, as opposed to if I was hitting this way, I would have Velcro and a layer of material. I want to get rid of that soft Velcro. I want to go hard surface to one layer, and that's the way I'm going to impact. Now I've got a really powerful impact tool that you can carry with you everywhere. That's loading the quarters into the LoPro belt. You can check them out at crusheverything.com. Go to the belts, there's a belt builder there. Find your size, there's a size guide, and you should be able to find what you need. God bless you guys. See you in the next video. Peace.